Okay, we're still getting a couple of people still coming in, so we're just going to start in a second. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for coming along today. This is a little welcome to Medicine Peer Mentoring. My name's Hannah Thomas. You'll have all received an email from me in the last week. So yeah, thank you for being here. I'm going to pass over now to the student coordinators. So these are the grandparents of the scheme, and they're going to just talk to you a little bit more about it.
Hi there, everyone. So we're just like in the process of sharing our screen. Hopefully you can all hear me. So when this loads, here we go. Essentially, my name's Ollie and I'm one of your grandparents, and there's 4 others here and 1 person who couldn't make it. So essentially, to start with, when this works, I hope you're all getting a nice taste of Zoom with lovely slow screen sharing and lots of Q&As. Let's see, we're nearly there. Okay, so essentially, hi, my name's Ollie. I'm a 3rd year. I'm one of your grandparents. You might see me around. You also might not, but we're always contactable on our emails. Essentially, massive congratulations for getting into doing medicine. You're on the first step to being a doctor, which is going to be really good fun, and such an amazing achievement. So well done there. And I'm based at Preston, so if you ever come on a visit to Preston, then say hi. I will probably be around, more than likely eating some food or something like that. So yeah, come say hi. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm also a grandparent for you guys. I come from London originally, and I'm based at Salford. So if you come to Salford Royal at all, hopefully you'll see me around.
Hey guys, I'm Mimi. I'm also a 3rd year, and I'm also based at Salford like Annie. So again, if you come on a hospital visit to Salford, say hi.
Hi, I'm Georgia. I'm based in Preston. So I actually come from Chorley originally, but again, same as Ollie, in Preston. Feel free to come say hi if you ever make it to placements.
And hi, my name's Caitlin. I'm based at Wythenshawe and I'm from Manchester, so I know the area quite well. So yeah, if you're at Wythenshawe, feel free to say hi.
Also, we've got one more who's not able to join us today because she's having her hospital introduction. She's called Lauren. She's also at Salford with us. So yeah. So just to let you know what we do. So back in March, back in April actually, we sorted through the applications from then 1st years to place them as parents for you guys, and have worked with staff to help organise a scheme. So from now, we'll be organising events, keeping in touch with all the latest information, and offering you and your mentor support. If there's any questions that you have your parents can't answer, maybe because their 1st year got a bit cut short, I'm sure you guys can sympathise. Please do get in touch. Some ways to reach us will be at the end of the PowerPoint.
So essentially the scheme is run by 2nd year medics for you guys. So you can contact them at any points during the year for kind of questions. They're going to, they're not just your mummies and daddies, but they're also going to be like your friends. So you can kind of ask them about anything. And as I said, it's kind of all throughout the year. It's not just specific to these kind of first few weeks. It's parents for life. So, you can always ask them questions. And as Annie said, if they can't answer anything, of course, come to us as well. and they kind of offer support in all areas. So literally ask them anything that you kind of want to know, if it's about the course or also just about kind of Manchester in general or kind of any social things, they'll be happy to answer. So yeah, they're basically just there for you, and yeah, we hope you really enjoy the scheme.
So, who are your mummies and daddies? Your mummies and daddies, if you haven't gathered, are the name we give your peer mentor. Like we said, the PBL group. So your PBL group should usually change with each semester. You'll be working with new people. It's a lot of fun. But your mummies and daddies, you'll only get for your first PBL group. Now, usually this becomes something of a community. It's sort of your first medic family that you have, and you tend to stay in contact with them quite a lot, especially when you get stressed. So around exam times, before placements, and like the entirety of semester 3, people tend to message their mummies and daddies quite a lot. Can't give academic advice, but they can give a lot of advice about like work-life balance and, you know, just silly questions you might have. Like we said, these medics are not drafted. They're second years who applied to be here and who have been trained to support you. So first of all, they know what they're talking about. They can help you out, but also they're just you guys in a year. It's, you know, it's not that deep. They have the experience. They can help you out, but they're not, you know, big and scary staff members who, you know, might be a bit intimidating. They can help you with all your really silly queries that you might have. Everything is important and everything's confusing right now. So their role usually is to do social gatherings and make sure you guys sort of bond together. Now it's slightly different. It's all about, you know, making sure you guys have fun little Zoom meetings and are all contacted online. Zoom meetings might seem a bit awkward and maybe a little bit cringy now, but I promise you, when you're deep in your deep doing your workload and you can't go outside because of lockdown, having like an hour-long Zoom meeting with your family where you just play silly games is going to be really, really helpful. And don't be afraid to ask for that. Like I said, they can't give academic advice, but they can give you, you know, life advice and everything else.
So we also run an international mature student mentoring scheme. These mentors are attached to specific PBL groups, and they'll be able to offer you help, be able to offer help to all mature and international students. So you'll soon be connected to these mentors.
I'm muted, but there you go, I'm muted now. So as Georgia said, hopefully we will have more events throughout the year. The aim is to eventually you can hopefully meet your parents in person and have social events and do all the fun things that you were meant to do but have been kind of scuppered by COVID. So for example, right now I am currently self-isolating for the next 13 days, having a great time. So therefore Zoom is a good way of doing it. It's great to have quizzes and other things where you can meet your mentors properly. But if you have any questions that your mentors can't answer, you can email that email. All 6 of us have access to that email. But if not, and maybe it's like a quicker question, you don't want to do an email, you can just contact us on Facebook at that page. I think the picture of the profile is a guy in a lab coat holding a skull. So hopefully that will help. And yeah, so please feel free to get in touch if there's anything we can do.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have to say. I know you guys are going to be going into Zoom meetings with your peer mentor parents, and I believe we're going to be sticking in here to offer any technical support you guys might need if you have any issues. So yeah, I can see there's some questions in the Q&A.
Yeah.
Slides being available, we can definitely email out these slides. That's not a problem for us at all. Our graduates, yeah, so mature students are essentially graduates, yeah. So yeah.
And then there's one that says, because of COVID restrictions, will we stay in the same PBL groups all year? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if even the people on this Zoom call know, because things are changing all the time. But if it's anything like we had it for the last 2 years, you'll put in a new PBL every semester. But I don't know if someone else can make that answer clearer.
Yeah, this has not been confirmed so far, Jack. I don't know if you have the answer. You'll stay in the same peer mentoring group all year though, so you'll stay in the same group with the same parents. It won't change if the PBL groups change in December, but hopefully there'll be more information about this coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, your PBL parents, like, they really are for life. You will end up messaging them in 2nd and 3rd year asking for advice about placements. You know, they're not expected to just be here for freshers or just be here for the first semester.
There's a question about how much free time we get as 3rd years, and we've only just started our year and it's changing, like, the situation all the time. So we're really not sure yet, but hopefully later on in the year we'll be able to answer that question.
Okay, we've got another question about international and mature students being in 3 separate peer mentoring groups. No, if you are a mature student or a international student, you'll be put in touch with the specific international peer mentors and the mature peer mentors, but you won't be in a specific other group, if that makes sense. But you'll be receiving information from us if you are either international or mature this year.
There's a question about when is the Freshers' Fair that the medic societies will be present at. So essentially, from what I gather with that, MedSoc are working, which is the like overarching Manchester Medical School Society. They're working really hard to try and get a fair just for the medic societies, and that will be emailed out later to you. I'm a committee member on some societies, such as Medics Hockey, so come along and join that. But essentially, we've got stuff like virtual stuff ready to go for that. So when we hear, you guys will hear.
Yeah, and basically it's going to be an online platform, the MedSoc Fair, and all the different societies will have, you know, uploaded different videos or kind of paragraphs. So you can kind of browse through it all and see which ones you want to join. And there'll also be a live chat section, I think, for the fair. So if there's a society which you have questions about, you can chat and a member of the society will kind of be live to answer your questions. And I think it's definitely coming up in the maybe 30th of September. I'm not 100% sure, but just kind of it is coming up. So within the next few weeks, you'll definitely hear about that.
And in the meantime, you can find the societies on Facebook and like their pages, and you'll get more information as they post it that way. It's probably the best thing to do.
But yeah, definitely kind of log on when you get the details about the fair, and definitely kind of look around. Even though it is virtual, I think there will be some really good videos, and it will, you know, you can choose which ones you want to join. And I think definitely joining the society is a really good thing to do. So I would definitely advise you guys to do that.
Yeah, so the whole sports society question, sports societies are just subject to local lockdown rules, is the gist. So it depends where you are. And I know you've got the question about the foundation stuff as well. I will say, I don't think any of us did a foundation year. Did you do one?
Yeah, I did the foundation year, and sorry, what's the question? So what you do is you do basically A-level chemistry and biology, and then and you have PBL as well. It's called EBL, but it's basically the same. So that's really good, because then when you go into first year, it's like you've already done a year of PBL. So yeah, you have A-levels and PBL. So, and it's really relaxed. I really love foundation year a lot. So I think you'll really like it as well.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about that, ask me, because I think only 30 people do foundation year. So if your medic parents didn't, you can come to me about that. So yeah.
Just as well to elaborate on the sports question about, is training going to be in person? Certainly for some sports, yes, it is. So in fact, hockey are going back tonight. They're having a training tonight. We've made it all really COVID secure, as Boris Johnson says. So that should be fine. But then obviously it varies from sport to sport. So we'll keep you updated on that. There should be welcome sessions as well. I know lots of medic societies are doing a welcome session on coming Sundays. So you'll hear about that.
There's a
Yeah,
question.
sorry, just to say generally before we keep going, you're going to go in a Zoom call where you can ask lots of questions to your parents. So please don't sit here and stress about putting all your questions on this Q&A now, because you can absolutely ask your questions to your parents as well, and they should have answers to quite a few of these. So don't stress about trying to put all your questions on here.
And the Zoom call will only have like 10 of you or whatever, so it will be way more intimate, and you can kind of go back and forth. Like you can speak, they can answer. It will be much easier. Yeah, but just to finish off these, the base hospital question, you can't make a preference for Wythenshawe, MRI or Salford. You can make a preference for Preston, and the only exception I think is if you have sporting commitments, and also I do European studies, so that's another thing. If you decide to do that, that means that you aren't placed at Preston, just MRI, Salford, Wythenshawe. But again, it might change with coronavirus because most things are online, so it's all up in the air.
Also, there's religious things to not being Preston, because there's not a synagogue in Preston. So if you have a preference where you really want to be near a synagogue, you can choose to put that down as an exemption. You get a form with it kind of October, November-ish. So you can look through that.
And then you find out your base hospital is just before Christmas this year, I think. Was it December first term?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with if you're living at home, can you make a preference for hospitals? I think you can, but you must be living at home from first year throughout, I think. Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to live at home in second and third year but aren't living at home in first year, they won't. I don't think they'll accept your application.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, there is you will get a specific form detailing all of this that says oh, here's where you make your exemptions and preferences. It's not just up to you to sort of have to come up with these reasons and contact, you will be contacted about it. Also, Preston's really cheap. It's not, if you've heard bad things about Preston, I promise it's not that bad.
Yeah, and anyway, your base hospitals are only important from third year onwards. So, you've just started first year. So for now, the first 2 years are all here. So it's kind of not something you need to worry about too much right now. Yeah.
You can see a couple of people asking about the Zoom live calls. Your parents should have contacted you. If you don't have a link for your Zoom call, just stay in and you can send a message on the Q&A or the chat, or send us an email or something, and we can put you in contact, because we should have the links for the different calls. So we can put you in there. But if you have any contact with your peer mentor group or parents, message them and be like, where's my link? Because we know that they should all have one by now.
Yes, but of course, if you guys have problems, just stay on this call when everybody else leaves, and then we can speak to you individually.
Okay, so if all the peer mentors and everyone's happy, I know we're a little bit early, but I think we'll start the peer mentor calls. Yeah, so peer mentors, if you want to leave the call and start your individual group Zoom meetings so that your families can join. It was meant to start at 12:30, but we'll just start a little bit early, so we finished up a little bit earlier now. If that's okay. If you're unsure, please stick around and we can help you. We've got the links to all the different Zoom calls that are happening so that we can direct you to them. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.